Today we're going to be testing out the lightest 18 gauge cordless brad nailer available on the market today. And I'm going to put it through a series of tests, so let's go. Many years ago, when I started out in the building trade, I did a lot of trim carpentry, and my most often used tool was a pneumatic 18 gauge brad nailer. So when I go to a job site, I had to bring the nailer, some oil for it, the hose, and a compressor. And sometimes the job site didn't have power, so I had to bring a generator. So you can imagine my excitement when battery powered brad nailers hit the market, like this M18 version right here by Milwaukee. This thing's awesome. But now having something that is this compact, actually this one is more compact than some other ones on the market. Having something like this to lug all around, doing a lot of trim nails, this is a game changer right here in my opinion. So one of my first tests is some footage I have from last night. We did a 700 nail test, and the battery that I grabbed, a 2 amp hour M12 battery, it only had 3 bars on it, so I'm not sure if it was like low on 3 or high on 3, but anyways, we'll see how it did. So this test right here is really going to show how this nailer performs. That's my 700 nail test. So I have several strips of nails right here, some different lengths, and then right here I have a pine 2x and some oak base molding right here that we're going to put 700 nails in that. So right now I have this laid down. I'm going to tack just a few down to get this locked in place. I have a strip of 1.25 inch nails in there I just put in, and I turn it on. We have our options to go from bump mode to single sequential mode. Let's go ahead and put a few in. Line this end up down here. So I'll do the first strip in single sequential mode, just work my way down here. And right now, trying to see, it might be sunk a little bit too far, so I can probably go this way a little bit. We want it just countersunk a little bit. That looks pretty good right there. So then I think when I go into bump mode and I'm going faster, then I'm probably gonna have to adjust the setting a little deeper. All right, I think that's it. Oh, I have a few more to go. All right, now we have the dry fire lockout. Put another strip in. All right, let's take a close look at what I just did. These are the first 100 nails. So you can just see right there. These all look like they're countersunk just right. There's no inconsistencies. Okay, still have more to go. So the bump rate I was going at is about as fast as I can go. If I go any faster, then it seems to time out. Almost feels like I have a dry fire lockout when it's not actually that. So with trim nails, I don't think, it's not like a roofing nailer where you want to just really be able to go in a hurry. You're usually doing some fine detail work. So let's keep going, go at that rate that works well for me. All right, there, I hit the dry fire lockout. 200 down. All right, so far that looks nice and consistent. There is one that's just up a tiny bit. So maybe there's a knot underneath, because this board does have several knots. And I am going in oak too. You can see right here, these are the last ones that I did. All nicely sunk, countersunk in there. I raised it up a little bit when I was running some of these shorter nails So that little section right there, I needed to adjust. But then back over here, there's a few. All these back here are sunk in there real nice. I'm impressed. All right, let's take a close look at this all the way around so you can get familiar with it. So right here we have a belt hook. It is reversible. You can put it on that side right there. So when you're setting this down, you don't want to set it on the belt hook like on the table and scratch it, you know, like that. So you would always set it on this side. So we have some bumpers. So a bumper there, kind of like a 3-point. So if you gently set it down, if you're working like in somebody's house, you set it on the countertop, you're not going to scratch it. And then over on this side right here, we have some tip storage. So a couple of different options right there that you can choose from. So right here, this is your tool-free depth adjustment right there. So if you're going to some hardwoods or some soft pine, you can switch it. And then depending on what depth you're gonna drive, you might have to go a little more, a little bit less. And then speaking of the brad nails, the shortest length is 5/8 of an inch that this will shoot, and it'll go up to 1.5 inches. And like I was saying, 1.25 inches I think is a great all around for just all the different types of trim, like this right here, like door stop, door casing, things like that. And then to load it, which is very easy right here on the side. And then right here you have your fuel gauge. So first you have to turn it on if you want to see that. So if I squeeze the trigger right there, you see I have 3 out of 4 bars. And then right here we have a LED light, the one right on that side right there. So that helps to light up your surface right there. And then there's no onboard tool storage needed. So let's say you want to clear a jam. So right here, that will get to it right there. Okay, put the battery back in and you're off and running again. All right, so let's take a look at some of the specs. So if I had to measure the length of it, guessing from there to there, probably close to 9.5 or so. So I'll call this the height right there. And we're about 9 3/4 inches or so. And then the width, I'd say it's about 2 3/4. Let's get the weight. 4 pounds, 10.2 ounces. Now, just out of curiosity, let's see what this one weighs right here, the M18 version with the 3 amp hour battery. 7 pounds, 0.2 ounces. Pretty big weight difference. So here's a test I thought I would show you between these two different nailers. So we'll just take a look and hear how this one sounds right here when we're driving some brad nails. This is the M18 version. So the one thing, if you need to shoot something longer than 1.5 inches, so this right here can shoot nails up to 2 1/8 inches long. But for the most part, if I'm gonna shoot something that long, then I'm gonna go to either like a 15 gauge or 16 gauge nailer instead. All right, so let's just hear how the M18 version sounds. We'll go single sequential, just do like 2 or 3. It is a little faster. So yeah, you can see there's gonna be a difference between the two. But for the most part, when I'm doing trim work, I'm taking my time lining it up, and that right there is gonna be fast enough for me. So if you're looking between the two right here, you can just see how the M12 is just much more compact. It's able to get into those really tight spaces, just more versatile. Like in this video right here that Milwaukee has, you can see this product manager is demonstrating how he's getting underneath the stairs right there, putting some molding on that's really difficult to get it to. And this right here does the job for it. So if you're somebody who's just getting into DIY or home improvements, I'd say something like this is going to be a tool that you're going to wonder how you ever got along without it. If you're trying to hammer in some little trim nails, brad nails, it's going to be so much easier with something like this. I started doing it by hand, but then once getting something like this, a pneumatic, and then moving on to this, it's just a total game changer. So anyways, I hope this video helps you out. If you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey Leo, what do you think about that new brad nailer? Once again, I appreciate you making it this far in the video. If you enjoy seeing Milwaukee tool reviews that have launched in 2024, I have a playlist right here that I handpicked for you that you can click on so you can continue watching.